We're recording.
Perfect. So this is the Master of Business Administration Program information session via Zoom, the first one. So bear with us in case we have some technical difficulties or we say things we probably shouldn't. I'm looking at you, Ernie.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So today, some of the topics that we are going to discuss are going to be the options in MBA, as we do have a couple of different programs. We're going to talk about high impact practices, and we do have a photo of Pablo, who is not showing his face, right there above high impact practices. We'll talk about tuition and fees. We're going to talk a little bit about the course structure, as well as the admission process. So we're going to tell you guys why our MBA program is so great, and then we're going to tell you how you can get into it. Perfect. So why consider an MBA with CSUSB? One of the major things that we do have in our back pocket is that we are AACSB accredited. AACSB accreditation is a premier accreditation that's only held by the top 5% of business schools worldwide. We have to be reaccredited every 5 years, and we did actually go through reaccreditation last year. So we've recently been audited and found to be holding up our standards and holding up the standards of AACSB accreditation. You will see Ivy Leagues, a lot of top schools that are going to cost you $150K, $300,000 to go to. They're the ones that are also holding AACSB accreditation, so you are definitely getting a phenomenal degree and a phenomenal curriculum at CSU price. So we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Quality, diverse, and experienced faculty. This actually goes along with our accreditation. Our faculty have to be either qualified with their PhDs, academically qualified, meaning that they are participating in current research, or professionally qualified, which means they're in the field and they're actually doing the work. So they are completely relevant and they're going to bring those topics. They're not going to keep talking about the same thing that people have talked about for the past 3 years. They're bringing in relevant experience. We have MBA boot camps, which are very unique to us. It's how we are able to have no prerequisite courses and welcome students in from any major. So the boot camp courses are basically a bachelor's degree in a nutshell. You're going to go through 6 different boot camps. They're going to take you through the main core of the MBA: accounting, finance, supply chain management, information systems technology, management and marketing. And it's going to make sure that when you start your classes, you're not behind. You've got a platform to be successful off of. Location, cost, and convenience. So we are in San Bernardino. A lot of students who are thinking about transferring to us from further away. And some very cool things for you guys to know is that we're about an hour away from the mountains. So if you do enjoy doing recreational stuff in the mountains, the desert, the beach, it's about an hour in any direction from us. We also are right near LA, so we've got some great attractions there for you as well. So you're getting a really great program. We're nestled right into the San Bernardino Mountains, so it's a beautiful campus. There's not a whole lot of traffic. We've got great parking, so I know that's something that some universities have issues with, but we definitely don't. And finally, high impact practices. We actually are going to talk a little bit about that later. But we at the MBA program are very passionate about making sure that you're not just getting curriculum. We want to make sure that when you leave this program, you've had a holistic experience and that you are ready to launch out into your career or whatever part of your career that you are in, that this program is giving you what you need in order to be successful and continue to move on. Some noteworthy distinctions that we have achieved. So Princeton Review ranks us in the top 294 business schools worldwide. So one of the great things that we do get and we have been achieving year after year. US News has ranked us our best online program. We're one of the top MBA programs nationwide, and College Consensus agrees with them. We were listed number 15 of 50 for our online program, and CEO Magazine is ranked the MBA program with online and stateside tier 1. So there's about 40 other graduate programs in those, and we're talking about some of the Ivy Leagues. So we're extremely proud of these accolades that we have, and we try to display them everywhere we can. But you can be proud too by being an MBA student and then eventually an MBA alumni. and having these sort of recognitions behind you. So high impact practices, I am going to bring Kirsten and invite Ernie to jump in on this if you guys want to chat about this stuff. I know, Kirsten, you're going to have some specific things to talk about as our student engagement coordinator. So I'll actually let you jump in and take this slide away.
So after you get admitted, I get to do all the fun stuff with you, basically. So we work really hard to make sure that you're able to have a connection made between the classroom and the real world, because in all actuality, it's a practical degree. You need to be able to apply the skills that you're learning, right? So we're trying to give you opportunities to do that. And then we also know at the same time that school is hard. It's really demanding, along with, you know, working full time and having a family, things like that. And sometimes you just need to be able to relax and casually network, right? Or maybe you need to work on your networking skills, or, you know, so all of our events are designed to be fun, but to also be beneficial to you in the professional world. So we hold 3 to 4 social events a year. It can be something easygoing, like just meeting at a restaurant for hors d'oeuvres and just discussing with your classmates, maybe some alumni and faculty come. Or it can be our last highly curated one was a business brunch that we held, and we had 50 students and alumni come. And we had them all seated at table topics that were related to them and that the alumni were experts in. So we were able to have some really cool experiences and discussions between students and alumni and get a lot of mentoring opportunities out of that one. And then we also have alumni come back 3 to 4 times a year and share on their experiences in the MBA program, what it's done for them, where they are now. Maybe you're looking to break into the supply chain field or start your own business or work in healthcare. There's a lot of different places that our alumni are working, and they come back and they share their experiences of how they got there, how their education helped them, and what you can do if you're trying to get into that field. We also have ambassador events. So every semester, our student ambassadors hold fun events. It's not really, that's what it is, but it helps them apply the skills that they need to be able to facilitate events later on, and, you know, project management, things like that. But it gives you a chance to meet your student ambassadors. They're students that are towards the end of the program. Usually they can give you suggestions. Maybe you need some tutoring, maybe you need to complain about something, or maybe you want to, you know, show something really cool to us and you're not really maybe comfortable coming to the MBA program. You can go talk to an ambassador. There's different college and university events. So a really cool one that the college puts on is called Business Madness. They have a bunch of employers come every year, and you can look for internships, you can look for new job opportunities. And then the university does really cool stuff too. There's a career center. There's, you know, constantly putting on job fairs. They're all virtual right now, but they have a really cool virtual professional series that they're doing. And that a lot of those events all feed into the second one, which is our passport program. Now, our passport program is optional. It's not something that you have to participate in, but it is something that I do suggest that you do. In my undergraduate, I never took the time to get involved or take advantage of the things that were offered to me. All the different networking events, all the different career fairs, all the internships, all the clubs, all of the stuff that's out there that you hear about all the time. You're like, okay, well, I'm just here to go to school. I'm here to work. I'm here to take care of my family. I don't have time for that extra stuff. That extra stuff is what's going to set you apart later in your life. That's what's going to give you a connection to maybe get a job opportunities that you wouldn't have gotten. That's going to get you out there and in front of people that are going to be beneficial to you later on. So a lot of the events that we hold are able to work in your passport. If you get 7 stamps within an academic year, meaning you go to 2 of the alumni speakers, you go to 2 of our events, you go to orientation, and you go to 2 career fairs that I happen to send out an email as passport approved, right? You get a medal to wear at graduation. You get a commendation saying that you completed a passport program, that you are a leader among your MBA peers. And now the program has been going for 4 years, Cassandra. Are we going to start our 5th year or our 4th year?
The passport program?
Is this the 5th year?
I believe it is the 5th year.
So we've had so much engagement and growth in the program that we were able to enact a second level. Basically, we had so many students completing it and then wanting to maybe do it again their second year that I wanted to give them recognition and maybe not the same medal, like duplicate medals to wear at graduation. So we put a second level in, a gold level, and you can do 13 events in an academic year. And if you think about it, it's really not that many, and there's so many virtual things that you can do now that it's possible to do if you work at it. And that's what that is showcasing, that you put extra work in, you went an extra mile to go above and beyond just the I showed up to class and did my homework type thing. I do run the program. I do plan all of our events. If you have any questions about it, about participating in it, about getting started in it, you can send me an email after. I'm happy to discuss anything with you. And then just
if I can add,
yeah.
If I can add to that, one of the major things that make this passport program so phenomenal is the fact that in the last 5 years, we have been able to gather that momentum. Our program, because we are in San Bernardino, is known as a commuter campus. If you combine that with the fact that we are professionals, most of us are working 8 to 5 and then coming to school in the evenings, it is extremely difficult to get any amount of us together to do any sort of networking. So networking is one more thing that needs to be happening, but it's so difficult for us as professional students. So the fact that over the past 5 years, Kirsten really spearheading this in the last couple of years has been able to really curate this to your guys' needs and to make sure not only is it something that you can do, but it's something that you want to do. And we're having people complete this program attending, more than 13 events annually. And I mean, it's a phenomenal, I would say, accomplishment. And it's just one of the few things that we really want you to know, that as a program, not only do we listen to you, but we're very passionate about giving you the things that you need. So it's something that we're very proud of, and that you can actually communicate with us and ask for things from us. And maybe we can't give it to you in the short spans that you are in the program, but we can continue to improve this program over the years, making it better and better. That way your investment in your degree and your education continues to get better and better. So just wanted to add that in there.
Awesome. Thank you. That's definitely way more and way better said than I had. There's some other stuff that we do too. There's other opportunities outside. Maybe you don't feel you have time to complete the passport. There are a bunch of other things. I really can't stress enough, and we all feel very passionately about going out there and networking, because it's the best way to get involved, to get opportunities to move forward in your career and in your education. So there are professional people on campus that do career counseling and resume help and all those things. We do have a JHBC one just for resume assistance and interview skills. We have a speaking lab where you can go and you can get your speech, if you have to work on a speech for class, you can go and get recorded, and they can help give you tips and tricks on like what to improve. Maybe you're really monotone, or you use your hands too much, you say like a lot as a placeholder. They're there to help you get over that. And I know that Cassandra was just telling me before we did this is that she was nervous. And it's something that we do a lot. We get up in front of students all the time. We have orientation every semester, every quarter before. Now it's going to be semesterly. I still get nervous. It's something, even if you're doing it every day. I know Ernie goes and speaks in front of a lot of people. He speaks in front of huge classes, and he still gets a little bit of butterflies, he's told me. So
Absolutely.
It's something, we have services to help you in anything you feel you are lacking in, or if you want to give back because you feel you're very highly skilled in it. So that feeds into different internships and practical training opportunities. You can do study abroads. Pablo's done a few of those. He's gone to Germany and Spain.
I can share that information if you like me to. Hello, everyone.
Love it. Love it.
Nice to meet you all. I'm Pablo. I'm amazed by the school. I really love the experience that I have in here. I almost graduate, and I've been having so many opportunities like the study abroad programs. I'm also involved in I'm a graduate assistant too at this school. I am still a student ambassador, and I also involved in the MBA service team. So in regards to the study abroad programs, we have so many opportunities, and you guys maybe think that, oh, it's too expensive, or do I need to pay a lot of money for them? Well, no, through the Central Global Management at Jack Brown College in the business, they offer so many opportunities where you can go to travel without paying anything. Sometimes you just have to pay for the flight. For example, in Germany, I didn't have to pay anything but my flight. And it was a month. So it was a really nice experience. I went to Seoul, South Korea, and I just paid like $1,000 for everything. And lastly, I went to China for a week, a summer camp through the study abroad office, and I just had to pay for the flight. So if you take a look deep at the opportunities, you can find like a lot of them very good. And also, as the MBA service team, this is also another great opportunity because you can give community service to the students. To the population, and you earn hours. So if in a group you earn certain amount of hours, you can get recognition and even medals. So this is also a very rewarding experience. I had a lot of fun with. And in the school, you can also find student assistant opportunities where you can just work in the mornings, and then you go in later on in the afternoon to take some of your classes. That's what I've been doing, and it works pretty great. I don't find traffic at all because I go early, I go to work, then I go to class, and then I can come back home. So there's no traffic at all. So there's also something that you can consider. And what else do we have? Oh, graduating with honors. If you work really hard in your classes and you keep your GPA, I think it's 3.8.
So that's something that's new. And I jump in on that one, Pablo.
I'm sorry.
No, you did great, Pablo. That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
I was an undergraduate at Cal State San Bernardino, and I worked really hard in my classes, and I was able to graduate with university honors and get the different honor societies and things like that came along with having high academic achievement. And when I started my MBA program, I asked, hey, what is there? Like, is there, you get department honors? Is there like university honors? And they're like, there's nothing. Like, I don't like that. So I decided to change it. And with support of my MBA coworkers and my fabulous director, we were able to push through the college and get approved for giving out department honors in recognition of you guys. So if you get a cumulative GPA in your MBA of a 3.8 or above, we give you cords to wear at graduation and a certificate to put on your wall showing that you had university academic achievement. Now, it doesn't show up on your transcripts. I am pushing and pushing and pushing and probably being really annoying to a lot of the other departments on campus about getting it done. But it is something that is a very much long-term goal. So it probably isn't going to happen even by the time you finish your degree, but it is something that I am striving for to have done in the future for other people, because I feel like as an MBA student, you are even more dedicated usually when you come back to school. So you're trying even harder to prove yourself, and you're trying even harder to get that academics, and the classes are harder. It's more demanding. You're going to work, you're going to school, you have a family. I mean, it's stuff that a lot of undergraduate students don't have. So it's even more special to showcase that you got that academic achievement during your time in the MBA program.
Awesome. And I know what a lot of you are thinking right now is, I go to work and then I'm going to have to go to grad school and I can't do this. You guys are talking to those students who are just on campus all the time or who aren't working, and that's not the case. These programs and these opportunities were designed not only for you, but by you guys. Our ambassador program is a group of students from our student body who are working full-time and do full-time community service. And I don't think they sleep at all, but they promise me that they do. But these opportunities, you don't have to do everything, but you should get involved and should plan to be involved in some way. And if we haven't created a way for you to be involved, let us know. We can try and see what we can have more. We can do more, right, Kirsten? We can do more.
I need to sleep personally. It doesn't matter. They need to sleep, but I don't need to sleep. That's why I invented coffee.
We are here for you. So we're going to continue on. Now that you've heard about how great our program is, I want to tell you how to get in. So there's two programs. There is the traditional MBA. Now this is kind of the one over everyone fits into this program. So this is designed to prepare promising students for positions of increased responsibility and leadership. Now that is, if you do not already have that leadership experience, you don't have 2 or more years of professional executive level work experience, this is the program that you're going to fall into. However, we have plenty of executives who come in and they want to do this program because we have 7 amazing areas that you can focus in. And a lot of people are coming in if they are mid-level career or they're coming in for their own professional development well into their career. Usually it's because they have an area of interest that they want to focus on. So we have 7 areas you can do that in. We have management, marketing, supply chain management. I'm counting because I always miss one. Entrepreneurship, information systems, cybersecurity. We've got the cybersecurity focus as well as supply chain management. And
there's a new interdisciplinary one that's starting up for the semester program. We're not going to have the business intelligence anymore, but we are going to have interdisciplinary. So if there's something that you're really interested in and maybe it crosses over 2 sections, you can kind of custom tailor your MBA program a little bit.
Correct. So the traditional program is 12 to 15 courses, 15 simply being our cybersecurity focus. We are one of the top cybersecurity programs nationwide. And so our faculty are very passionate about ensuring that you guys get the knowledge that you need. So it is the only traditional program that has an additional 2 electives. And we'll talk a little bit about curriculum in the slides to come. This will take you 4 to 5 semesters. Again, 5 semesters would be that cybersecurity focus. You can finish quicker. It is a possibility if you're not working. So those of us who are full-time, working 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week, you guys have a lot of responsibilities. 3 classes at a time is full-time on the semester system. So, and it's very doable. It's usually about twice a week for 2 hours or so. And so there's a lot of flexibility. You guys get to enroll yourself after your first quarter. So you're going to have a program plan. You're going to take a look at it. You're going to see what you need to take, and you'll see what is offered and be able to choose what fits your schedule. So the estimated tuition for this is about $24,000. That is estimated based off of semesterly tuition and a quarterly unit fee for professionals. So this one does not have a requirement for work experience, as opposed to our Executive MBA, which is just launching this fall. The Executive MBA is intended for managers with a lot of work experience. Although you can qualify with only 2, this really is designed for that middle level or executive manager who needs that MBA either for professional satisfaction, or they really need that credential in order to get that next level of administrative position. So we do advise people who are early in their career, even if they do qualify for this, we usually advise them into the traditional program, but of course, it's your choice. So there is no focus area for this. It is a general MBA. There's only 10 classes to this program. It will take you 4 semesters if you are doing that 3 classes at a time. And it's around $22,500 to complete this program. And it is a mandatory of 2 years of work experience. I will briefly talk about the work experience with you just because it's something we get a lot of questions about. Managerial experience is hiring, firing, disciplining, coaching a group of individuals, but you can also manage equipment or processes. So we do have those managers who come in, or maybe your project managers, or we do have the professional side of it coming in, engineers or analysts or certified personal accountants. We have those people with those professional levels. We've got superintendents coming in. So keeping those things in mind, the best way to find out if you are eligible, if you have not been found eligible yet, is simply to email me. Send me your resume and I will let you know if you qualify for this program or if the traditional program is going to be better for you. Moving on. And I see the chat box popping up. Are we good on questions, or was there anything I need to?
The last question was about the professional experience. I think you covered it pretty well.
Perfect. So the core structure. So all of our MBA programs, you guys may have seen us advertise this 1 degree, 3 options. So the core of this program is the same. It does not matter if you're doing an executive MBA, which we do have a fully online executive MBA program. If it's something that you do need, maybe coming to campus is not an option for you, I can definitely discuss that with you later on. For the sake of this information session, we are discussing the stateside or the face-to-face program. So, but no matter which of the 3 options that you are choosing, the core is the same. So you will have foundation courses, which are going to be your first 2 administrative courses. One of those is going to be on data-driven decision-making. So how to interpret and manipulate data in order to gather information. More importantly for managers, how to read data that's being given to you by others and ensure that they're actually displaying the information correctly. Also, advanced managerial communications, where you will fine-tune your ability to communicate written and orally. So a lot of presentations, a lot of writing. So that satisfies one of our writing requirements. You'll have essential courses, which are going to also relate to the boot camp courses that I mentioned earlier in the presentation. So you'll go through accounting, finance, information systems and technology, management. There's 2 management courses. One is going to be organizational theory and behavior, which is much more of the practice of management and how it's come to be, and then corporate strategy. So this is going to be taking everything that you've brought together and learned and actually applying the strategy side of management. You will take a marketing class and a supply chain management class. So you're going to get a really nice overarching view of all sides of business between the foundation and the essentials. You will have a culminating business experience. For those of you coming in fall, that is going to be a comprehensive exam. And so that is going to be a one-time exam that's going to test you on the essential courses. And once you get a little bit closer to graduating, it's not something you'd be thinking about anytime soon. We would be preparing you for that, and you would be well prepared and ready to do that. You will also put together a portfolio working to ensure that you are career ready. You're ready to launch or ready to make a move or move up, whatever it is that you're trying to do. We want to make sure that you are prepared and ready to do that. So that's much more of a task list, updating a resume, putting together some writing samples, that sort of thing. So not something to worry about. People like to make a big deal of the portfolio. I don't know why. It's not something to worry about though. And then finally, we talked about the traditional MBA and the executive MBA. Now to finalize and finish up the units that you'll be doing, you will have electives. And this is the major difference between the programs. So you have the traditional MBA, one of those 7 focus areas, and that will have you doing 3 to 5 elective classes, 5 again being cybersecurity. Most of them are just going to have 3 elective courses. Those are going to be pre-selected for you. Usually 2 of the 3 are pre-selected, and then you are given an option for that 3rd course. You work very closely with your academic advisor, DeLauren West, who is not with us today. I didn't invite him. He's busy advising students.
He's working.
He's working. He's working. So he actually is with you throughout the entire program. You meet with him quarterly, or at least get an update from him quarterly to ensure that you are staying on track, you're going to graduate on time, and you're doing the classes that you absolutely need. So the eMBA, Executive MBA, you get your choice of any of the elective areas for any of our focus areas. So you've got one shot at that, and you can do anything that interests you. If you were to want to do more electives, you would essentially be doing the traditional program in that interdisciplinary study Kirsten mentioned earlier. So that is curriculum. Kirsten, did you have a question?
No.
Oh, I thought I saw your finger like so we have told you how great we are. We have told you how awesome our curriculum is, and now many people want to know, how do you get in? So this slide has a lot going on, and I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible for you, sticking with that same format of what applies to everything and then what is specific to programs. So no matter which MBA program you are applying to, you do have to submit an electronic application on calstate.edu/apply. That is $70. You do have to have a bachelor's degree. If you are international or an international student, we say a bachelor's degree equivalent. Those are questions I can answer via email. If you guys want to ask me specifics about that, you do need to have a bachelor's degree in order to qualify for the MBA program. You do need to submit official transcripts. On that electronic application, you can submit unofficial transcripts, but you will need to submit official transcripts. You need a 3.0 GPA or better. We can make accommodations down to a 2.5. We do understand, especially people who have been out of school for a while, or life happened early on in their academic career, and then the last 2 years they kind of picked it up. So we do take that into account. So don't write yourself off if you are in that 2.5 to 2.99 range. Just send me an email, let me know, and we will discuss your specific situation. You need one letter of recommendation. This letter of recommendation can come from professional sources, so people you work with, from an employer, or academic sources. If you have faculty members who can talk a little bit about you, maybe your leadership, your ability to do graduate school, those are the sort of things we're looking for. We have a PDF if you want to make life easy on your recommender and just send them a checkbox PDF. That's something we can definitely provide for you, but it's also on our website. Resume and a statement of purpose. So I'm going to talk about the statement of purpose really quick because the resume takes a little bit longer. You need a 250 to 500 word statement of purpose. And I stress this because we are looking at your business writing here. So I do not want a 3-page essay, please. You are going to talk about why you are choosing a CSUSB MBA, your academic motivation, and your personal qualifications. So 3 things: why us, and why we should choose you, and what you're going to do with it. So answer those 3 things in 250 to 500 words. If you go a little bit over, I'm not gonna mark you off. If you're under 250 words, you may be a little too concise. So on to resumes. Please, please, please include the months you began and ended each job position. This is something that is the #1 issue with resumes coming in. When you tell me that you worked from 2014 to 2014 at a specific job, it doesn't give me a lot to go off of. So I'm not actually able to look at your professional experience and quantify it. So add the months you began and ended each position. You do need to list each position independently and the jobs or the responsibilities that you had under that position. So we're looking at something, either a resume or a CV. 1-page resume oftentimes is good if you don't have a lot of work experience and you are listing it that way. But most people are turning in 2 to 3-page, what we call CVs or life work. So add everything in that you want us to know about you. Don't be afraid to expand on anything. Too much information is not usually a thing. I don't think I've ever sent a resume back to someone and told them they gave me too much information. So if you want to start with what you have and email that to me before putting it on your application, I can give you feedback on that as well. That's part of what I do to help you guys through the application process. And finally, there will be an interview. So the interview is something that's going to be fairly quick. You'll be meeting with one of us. We'll be talking to you a little bit about your motivation and really trying to pinpoint what it is that we can help you get out of the MBA program. So you've already decided the MBA program is right for you. You've already gone through everything you need to do to get accepted. Now what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're setting you in the right direction, making sure that you are heading right on course the moment you start this program, because I can tell you 2 years goes by very quickly. So we don't want you to be past your first semester, a quarter of the way through your program, and then just starting to seek those things out. So we want you to start early and really be successful. Specific to the programs, the traditional MBA has what we call a business aptitude requirement. Again, this is that option that is for everyone, so that's why there are so many different options to fulfill this. Due to the coronavirus and the inability for people to get to testing centers, this is a temporary one-time thing where we are waiving the GMAT or GRE. That's the only way that you would essentially meet this aptitude requirement. However, if you have a 3.2 normally, Ernie, correct me if I'm wrong, right now we're looking at 3.0 GPA
3.0.
from an AACSB accredited business school like us, and you're undergraduate, you meet this requirement. If you have another graduate degree, a lot of times we have MDs or JDs coming in and they're trying to get an MBA as well, that satisfies this requirement. If you have 2 or more years of professional or managerial work experience and I approve your resume, that will satisfy this requirement. If you do not have any of those 3 things and you do not satisfy it based on any of those, and you are not coming in fall 2020, you will be required to take a GMAT or a GRE exam. Also, with that being said, if your GPA is below a 3.0, the GMAT or GRE exam is normally how we have you essentially make up for that if you don't satisfy based on any of those other requirements. So keep that in mind. If you are in an exceptional spot where you are a 2.5 GPA to 2.99 and you don't satisfy based on any of those first 3 bullet points, just send me an email. We'll see what your situation is and we'll see when we can get you into the program. For the Executive MBA, you do not have the same options for business aptitude. Like I've said a couple of times during this presentation, you have to have that work experience, and we are very critical of it. So this is because if you do not have the work experience and you come in and get a general MBA, you're essentially doing yourself a disservice. If you want to go on and climb the career ladder, make a transition, most of your motivations early in your career, traditional MBA is going to be what's best for you. We will advise you towards that. But the 2 years is mandatory. All right. That was a mouthful.
A lot of information, Cassandra.
I'm tired. This slide is going to be this slide is going to be quick. So application. You're going to turn in almost all of those documents I told you about. You're going to apply online. You're going to submit your statement of purpose. You're going to submit your resume, 1 letter of recommendation. You can request that through the application site. So if you want to just put your recommender's information in there, you can. I advise asking for it ahead of time. It doesn't need to be confidential. So get your letter of recommendation from your recommender and then upload it. Then you have the original yourself and you know it's been completed. You do need to submit your unofficial transcripts on that application. After the application has been submitted, and this is a big question that we do have, is test scores. If you are in that category where you need to submit a GMAT or a GRE, those can come afterwards. So you can apply and then take the test later. Official transcripts do also need to come following that application. I know for fall, GMAT GRE is not something that we're considering, but there may be people on here who are thinking about coming in spring or possibly next year. For the GMAT and GRE exams, we don't have a preference. You just have to do it. There are scores that you need to have though. So for the GMAT, it is a 470 or higher. The GRE, it is a 298 or higher. We're only looking at quantitative and verbal reasoning sections. It is mandatory. We will not even consider your exam if you are not above the 10th percentile in verbal and quantitative reasoning. Plan ahead. So these exams not only take a lot of time. Yes, Kirsten?
The 10th percentile doesn't mean the top 10%. It means above the bottom 10% of people that have taken the test within the last 5 years. So
Yes.
we're not asking you to like be a super genius, right? We're just trying to gauge your ability that you can actually take a test and be successful, because you will be doing a lot of that during your program.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Kirsten. Yes. So, and the GMAT, honestly, just come talk to me. I took the GRE myself when I was coming into the MBA program. It's something that I've been through already, and I've been doing this for 5 years now. I've worked with every single applicant to make them successful, so I can give you tips and tricks.
The application deadline is July 8th, just so everyone knows.
Yes, July 8th. Get your online application in before then, please. There's about another week after that where graduate studies would be reviewing your application and your transcripts to make sure you're eligible. And then your application is transferred over to me. So you've got about a week of wiggle time if you're getting that last letter of recommendation in. So just make sure you're emailing it directly to me or Kirsten.
Yes.
That is about everything that I have for you guys. I know this was a mouthful. You guys are probably yawning. I can't see you all, but I'm guessing that you are. I hope you have enjoyed the MBA show. We are about 14 minutes left. I don't know how many participants we have here, and if you want to do a Q&A session.
Yomara was able to join us, so
Hi, Yomara.
If we want to have her speak a little bit more about like ASI and other university things that are available to students, we could do that after the question of if they have a 3.2 cumulative GPA, don't have to take the GMAT or the GRE. That's if you go to an AACSB accredited business school.
Kirsten, can we stop recording now?